It is the 31st of January 2025. Welcome to your backcountry snowpack summary brought to you by North Shore Rescue. We went from a green brick to a red brick overnight. Here on the North Shore we got about 30-35 centimeters of new snow overnight. During the day today the temperature crept up and it actually rained to mountaintop for a very short period of time. And now it's snowing again fairly heavily. The avalanche conditions are very spicy up to this point today. We, as soon as you got anywhere near anything that was steep and had snow on it, you would have an avalanche. All about 30 to 40 centimeters deep. Pretty wide propagation. We saw propagations up to 100 meters wide. And it all is sliding on either like a combination of facets, old crust or ice, and a little bit of surface hoar in some places. Now it is especially spicy because despite the fact that we're at the end of January, we still kind of have early season coverage. So the terrain traps are still pretty bad and pretty serious. In this footage here, you can see that if a relatively small avalanche, this was probably a size 1.5, takes you like onto a rapid transition to flat ground or worse into like a gully, even a small avalanche can actually bury you fairly deep. So the storm is ongoing and it does look like overnight the temperatures are going to plummet to roughly -8 to -10. So if you want to know what this means for your weekend plans, stick around for the snowpack discussion. So we are at 1,300 meters on the east aspect. And so when you dig into the snow, it's very easy to find the old interface as soon as you hit that really hard ice. And in this site, we have 33 centimeters of new snow. And it's just really bonding poorly to the crust underneath. Depending where you are, when we're getting our avalanche results this morning, it was either on surface hoar and facets or on ice. And so no matter which aspect you are, typically the new snow is just not holding very well onto the old surface. So we were getting wide propagation, we were getting remote triggering. Things are very, very reactive. It did tighten up a tiny bit in the early afternoon, but it's certainly still very reactive. And we have to keep in mind that on the North Shore we are used to storm snow instability that tend to heal quite rapidly. In this case, we're talking about crystals that we don't really see all that often. Those facets and surface hoar is not super common for us, so we can expect to for this weakness to take a little bit longer to heal. Earlier today, it actually rained to mountaintop. Freezing level probably spiked at around 1,300 meters. So if you're looking at the snow, it's what we generally refer to as upside down snow. It's actually fairly dense close to the top, and as you get closer to the crust, it gets quite weak. So if we project this into the weekend, what that means for snow stability and also maybe for skiing quality is that lower elevation are probably going to get all crust. As you gain elevation, you'll probably find that the crust is going to become a little bit less noticeable. Now the big question is, how much bridging can we expect? So if this weakness close to the crust is not going to heal very well, is the crust that's going to form overnight when the temperatures drop down to around -10 or so, so the forecast says, is this going to allow us to travel on the crust and not necessarily trigger something down below? Possibly at lower elevation, but I would be very cautious with a statement like that. I think at higher elevation we might get what a lot of people call a zipper crust, which doesn't really provide much bridging at all. We are expecting more snow, but I think the bulk of it is probably done. So it will be quite variable depending on elevation and depending on how much additional snow we get. That's all I got.